Hello, Facebook friends. Happy whatever day it is today. As an entrepreneur, the days just run together. Hi, how are you? Hopefully you're having a fabulous day. I really want to talk about this epidemic that's going on that I'm seeing all over, especially in online marketing, and I want to talk to you about it. So for those of you who are here or watching the replay, let me introduce myself before we get started. My name is Fabiola Giordani from FabiolaGiordani.com, and I am a business and marketing strategist. And what I do is I help entrepreneurs, authors, speakers, and service-based entrepreneurs utilize the power of online marketing to grow and scale their business to six figures and beyond, six-figure mark and beyond. And what I do specifically is I help them create marketing systems that helps them bring in quality leads and sales daily in their business. And so I'm really excited to talk about this because, and thank you for the hearts, by the way. I'm excited to talk about this because this is something that a lot of people are teaching and sharing, and they're not really giving you the real deal. And I know there's a method to the madness, right? It does work for some people, but the truth is, if you're relying on someone else's Facebook group to help you get clients, then we have a problem, and I need to tell you about yourself and what you need to be doing to actually get clients. So before we move to the content, let me just share this to my personal page. Hopefully it'll let me do that. Nope, it won't let me. Oh, yes, it does. All right, so I'm going to share it to my own timeline. All right, so I want to put a caveat out there, all right, that I'm not talking about if you own your own group, okay? I'm talking about if you're going to other people's group to post. So if you're here, thank you for the hearts, loves. If you're here and you're like, she's being so catty and petty about groups. No, I'm not talking about groups overall. I'm talking about like other people's groups. So for example, I have a group, but if you go in my group and post, this is what I'm talking about. So the strategy that's being taught that if you go into someone else's built community that you can prosper, which now I'm not saying you can't get clients, but let's talk about it. Okay. So, the truth is I had, she's a client and friend, but I'm not going to name names, but I had this really amazing design client. Hey, welcome from UK, Sasha. And she's a huge brand. And one thing that she did, and she doesn't even really like Facebook groups, what she did was she had a group and people, she had rules like everybody else, right? And people kept posting. And one thing she had to do was put a post in her group and say, I'm sorry, I want to support you. This is a community for my brand and my business, even though it sounds like I'm being bitchy. But the truth is, I spent a lot of time and money in building my brand, right? And so would it be fair for you to come in and start pitching? Now, I know there are some groups that you can pitch your offers, share your content, and that's great, right? But the truth is, if that's your method of getting clients, then you're not going to get where you need to go in your business. So today, what I'm going to talk about are 3 strategies you can do right now that cost you zero to little money to get clients. All right. And so if you're in the space where you're posting in groups and you're getting no results, you're promising free things and no one's taking you up on your offer. And even if you had a funnel in place, sometimes if you post a freebie in a group, sometimes people don't see it or you don't get the right people to actually join. So here's 3 problems with posting in other people's group. One, it's not your brand, right? It is not your brand. So if you want to use a Facebook group strategy, I would suggest you start your own. I'm not a Facebook group guru. One of these, there's a young lady named Caitlin. She's awesome. So if you want to start your own group, cool, right? But we're talking about like posting in other people's groups. So the problem number 1, it's not your brand. It's not your target market. Yes, there are some people in there that you can serve, but the truth is it's not a guarantee that if you post, everyone will see it, especially if it's in a group of thousands. Problem number 2 with that situation is that you're not actually going to show up authentically like you want, because why? There are rules. There are rules to you posting, right? You probably want to be like, hey girl, look, I went to the mall today and I totally had like maybe your mindset coach. I totally had a money block about buying this $3,000 bag or whatever. You can't really go in there if you're going to kind of line it up with you can't really market the way you want to, because if you want to kind of weave them into a story and talk about, how it was great that, talk about your blog that you wrote about mindset and shopping or whatever. You can't really do that. It's not your place. And so you can't really market authentically like you really want to. And 3, it's a completely waste of time. I'm sick of this. It's a waste of time. When I joined a Facebook community, yesterday I've been just removing myself from groups. I want to be a part of the community. I go in, I give some content. I don't even give content. I go in, I give value. If I see a question I can answer, I'll pop in. I don't do it with the intention of, hey girl, I'm going to answer your question, but let's talk about it later. No, that's kind of sleazy, right? And it doesn't feel good for you and for them. It kind of feels desperate and thirsty. And I'm not blaming anybody. I'm not pointing fingers. I'm just saying, like, it's just not authentic marketing. It doesn't work, right? It's like I'm asking, hey, do you know how to put this thing on Squarespace? And you're like, here's how to do it. By the way, I do design. Like, come on. How is that really helping? How is that community? Facebook started, okay, just a note for everybody, social media did not happen because they wanted you to, it wasn't for your business. It was meant to be social. And so a lot of us people on this planet are still utilizing to be social. And these groups are meant to be a part of someone else's community, to support you, to give you a place where you can bond with people. When I first started my business, groups weren't a big thing. Yeah, there were groups, but there weren't a lot of amazing groups out there teaching content and sharing and people that you can connect with. And especially if you're online, it used to be super lonely, right? You quit your job, you start this business, you were in an office full of people, and now you're by yourself. That's what the groups are meant for, and that's what most people start the groups for, okay? And so I want you to just get in the mindset and the habit of not actually relying on Facebook group marketing as a way to get clients, okay? So all I want to say, let me get off my soapbox and let's get into the content of how you can get clients right now without utilizing Facebook groups, okay? So the number one thing I want you to do today is to make a list of all your past discovery calls and clients that you've talked to and do a follow-up process. So a lot of times we do not follow up with people that we've talked to. We assume that all of our discovery calls ended in a no at the time, and it's a no forever. Oftentimes the money's not right. Oftentimes it's like the timing is not right, and people are just not ready, and that's okay, right? But have you followed up with people in the past clients? For example, what I work with my clients on are 90 day and 6 month marketing strategies, right? And sometimes a year, depending on where they are in their business. Because if you're kind of new, I don't want to overwhelm you with like a whole year and then you're like freaking out. Things change. So maybe they want a new marketing strategy. So maybe you can offer them something that will allow them to get more help with their marketing for the next half of the year, whatever the case may be, right? And so I want you to follow up with people. Did you follow up, but they didn't become repeat clients? Some say yes, some say no. Let me just say this about that is I'm not attached to the outcome of anything I put out. And I know it sounds ridiculous, but the truth is when you're so attached to one particular outcome, you're kind of blocking your blessings for what can come for you. So maybe that client didn't renew, right? Maybe I'm like, hey girl, we talked 6 months ago. Would you like to get together and plan again for the next half of the year? And they say no, but guess what? Instead of being upset and being so attached to it, they may be like, hey Fab, guess what? I have a friend who's starting a business or needs help coaching, and I thought you'd be a great coach for her. And that person signs up, right? And so I'm not really attached to the outcome. And that's one thing I want to say is like, don't put so much, put effort in your work, obviously, but don't put so much attachment to how things come out, because it is not your job to figure out the how, but just to take action to get the result. I know it doesn't sound normal, right? But the truth is, stop trying to figure out, oh my gosh, like I have to get this money, versus to how can I show up so that I can get this money. Hopefully that makes sense. All right. So the number one lesson, the number one lesson I want to share with you is to follow up with people. So make a list of past discovery calls, past conversations, emails that you've gotten, but don't be inauthentic. Be like, hey, you want to coach with me? Like, follow up, see how they're doing. But that's one thing. A lot of people leave money on the table. They never follow up with anybody, and that's a problem, right? The second thing that I wanted to share with you to get clients and make sales daily is to utilize your community as a way to share that you have openings. I know there's like this whole thing about just launching and showing up once in a while and all that, but the truth is, if you want clients, you got to show up for them, and you have to let them know that there's an availability to work with you. And so it's not just when you're launching courses or a big program. You should be showing up in your list. I have a friend, she's incredible, and she's an incredible mindset coach, psychotherapist, and also an email badass. And one thing that I noticed about her that she does flawlessly is that she'll send you content all the time. I think she emails her list about 2 to 3 times, and I will never get off her email list ever because it's that awesome. But she's always selling you into something and you don't know it. because you're like, ooh, I want to click for a discovery call. Ooh, I want to check out this program. That's because she's always in her audience's inbox, in their face, providing them great content so that when she does put, hey, P.S., let's talk about this mindset block that I talked about here in this particular post, you're more likely to click on it. You're more likely to get on the phone with her because she's consistently showing up for you. So I guess number 2 is consistency and letting your audience know that you have openings, right? When I used to design websites, is one thing I used to tell people is like, hey, we're taking clients for March and April, or in this case, April and May, instead of just waiting around. I would do it in advance, not wait around to when I need clients, right? And the third thing that I want to encourage you to do is to run a Facebook ad already. Run one. With $3, you can get clients. Let me tell you guys something. When I started my business, Mama did not have a Facebook ad budget like she does today. So what did she do? She took $20 and invested in Facebook ads. Yes, I watched that sucker like a hawk. And actually, it was a total of $100 because I took $50 and bought a course because I was not about to run ads blindly. And then from there, I took the other 50. It wasn't 20. I took the other 50. I started with 20 for a week, and then I added a little bit more, and I put myself out there. But if the reason why ads won't work for you, if you haven't studied something, don't expect for you to just watch a few free webinars and get the results. Pay for it. Pay someone to learn it. It doesn't have to be a one-on-one coaching for Facebook ads, but I would recommend running an ad. Heck, even if it's boosting. I know that a lot of Facebook ad gurus are like, don't boost anything, but I actually boosted a video for one of my retreats and I sold 2 seats. 2 seats from a boost, and it was a $5 boost, and it was a $400 per person sale. So it was $800 made for a $5 boost. Okay, so I want to encourage you to go out there and just run an ad and get in front of the people that you want to. And lastly is just show up in a live stream. What is up with people being terrified? I get it. My first YouTube video, I cried before, after, while I was posting it. I was super emotional. I was like, no one's gonna like this. Everyone's gonna exactly. Everyone's going to hate this, blah, blah, blah. And in the end, no one had anything negative to say. I'm sure someone said something negative by now. It's been up for 2 years. But I didn't care. I just showed up because I knew that I had to get on video and I had to show people my face and say, hey, how you doing? Especially when I started doing webinars as a part of growing my list and building my business. It was super hard to get on camera, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to go out there. Beat the face, all right? If you don't know what that means, put on makeup. Put on the makeup so I'm not like, oh my gosh, I'm not decent, and just show up, because people didn't care whether I showed up on camera. Of course, some people asked to see me, but the truth is they were there to support me and to learn the content. And so your job is to get out there. So your challenge for today, or your homework for today after this live stream, is to do the following. Make a list of all your past calls, and if you use a calendar system, you should be able to collect all the data from your calendar system, find out who became clients, obviously take them off or put them aside, follow up with past clients to see who wants to work with you. Maybe there's something new that you want to share with them, whatever it is, and send a loving email. Put your heart into it. Stop being lazy already. Facebook groups are not going to save your business. Again, if it's not yours. And even then, I have friends with incredible groups that are huge, and they're like, we put a lot of energy into it, but the bulk of our sales come from our emails, or from us doing live streams, or from us doing Facebook ads. So really, the group is really there to just support their community. And then the next thing that I wanted to share with you as part of your homework is to either run a Facebook ad, and if it's not in your budget right now, show up live. If you are going to use Facebook groups, come on live. Let the people see your face. Don't post another freaking gorgeous, beautiful picture with a nice quote. I'm sick of those. I'm not in groups a lot, so it doesn't matter to me, but I'm sure your people are sick of seeing them too. They want to see you. They want to hear from you. And so write out 3 things that you can talk about. If you're a life coach and you help people better communicate with their partner, which is the ultimate example that I always use, but you can say, okay, well, I want to talk about how to win an argument. And do a live stream, 3 things you can do right now to win the argument and make them feel like they won. You want to better communicate with your partner? Do that. Here's the 3 things you can do. That's how simple it is to get out there and market your business. Well, thank you, girl. You're welcome. If you are a designer, I'm going to give 2 more examples. If you're a designer and you're like, I don't talk about things, I just design, then you should do things like what I love to do, what I used to do, which I'm just going to spill it, is I used to do brand mood boards and just post those or show people the how-to, like how to come up with brand colors, how to use Canva, like basic, simple things that people, you think everybody knows it, but your audience is not, and that's why they need you. So show up and give them content. Thank you. Thank you, Aida. And then lastly, my last example, who should I give an example? Photographer. You're like, oh, online marketing doesn't work for me. I can't get clients. It's all local. That's a lie too. Show up live. One of my really good friends, Stacy Pierce, she's the one who did my photography for my website. Her and someone else, but she's our family photographer. She also took our family photos. She slays it with those live streams. She shows live stream behind the scenes of her taking pictures of her client afterwards. She interviews clients. There's so much you can do to show up, and her lives get like thousands and thousands and thousands of views. And I don't even think Stacy's page have 5,000 people, and she gets a lot of views and people showing up. And so what is your excuse today? That's really what you want to ask yourself. Stop utilizing Facebook groups as your ultimate marketing tool to grow your business, because it's not going to happen. It's not, because that is someone else's platform, and you're reaching at this point. And you had to hear from me today, and it had to be like this. I had to share it just like this because it was meant to be served just like this. So I appreciate you guys watching. If you are watching the replay, don't forget to drop me a note. I love to hear from you because I love interacting with you guys in the comments. Of course, if you leave a comment. Thank you, Rashonda. How are you? And so drop me a note in the comments and let me know what are the action steps that you're going to take today to market your business, because I really want to hear from you. Stop using Facebook groups, right? And if you are using Facebook groups, are you strategically using them? Because I don't recommend it. I just feel like it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time, right? Build your own community, build your own brand, and get in front of people and allow people to fall in love with you because you are amazing. So I'll see you guys later. And P.S., if you haven't joined my challenge yet and you want to get booked out with incredible quality clients who are going to pay you for your genius, I want you to join me in my challenge that I'm doing. You can call it a 5-day masterclass. Challenge for me is not really, So it's kind of like a 5-day masterclass on how to market your business effectively to book clients. And it starts this Sunday, April 9th. And I think it's Palm Sunday, but your life will be changed. And we will talk about the follow-up process in there. But you can only get the worksheet and the daily prompts if you join the actual challenge. So I will be going on live for the challenge, but you're going to get most of the meat and potatoes in your emails. So I will post a link somewhere on here in the comments or above. So if you're watching this now or later, don't forget to hop on because you need it in your life. All right. I appreciate you guys. I will see you later. Bye.